What's going on, guys? It's the One Round Reco, and today we are here with a review that I have been waiting for so long. I'm so excited. The only downside to this right now is that I don't have the full rest of the line of the turtles. I was hoping to have those obtained and reviewed beforehand. My pre-order from Big Bad Toy Store for Donnie and Leo has been just taking forever. I might just have to buy it somewhere else just for the sake of having them instead of waiting for it to hit, just doing it outright. But yes, we are here with Power Rangers X Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Morphed Shredder from the Lightning Collection. So this guy, if you didn't read the comics by Boom Studios, one, check them out. They're really nice. They have a lot of them. They're really, really cool, including the turtle crossover. But long story short, Tommy, who I have all the way up here, which I should have grabbed for this review, he snuck into the Foot Clan. That's why they have a Foot Clan Tommy figure, to save his friend who had gotten mixed up with the Foot Clan and become part of them. He came to try to rescue him and get him out of there, only to run into Shredder himself, who's like, "Hey, I know who you are." And then Tommy proceeded to get his ass kicked by Shredder, who then took his morpher and forcefully used it and became Morphed Shredder, the Green Ranger Shredder. That's why he doesn't look completely like the Green Ranger, like he has the no sleeves, this and that. A lot of people don't like how the design looks, how he's not fully morphed, this and that. I take it as like it's not a full proper morph. He kind of forced it. He bent it to his will, so he is morphed. He has the morphed power. He can call the Dragon Zord. That's also why he doesn't really have like the Dragon Dagger, because it doesn't make sense he wouldn't use it. Or why his arms are bare. He's the Shredder. He does what he wants. He's gonna show off them big muscles. You're gonna tell him he can't? Pardon me. He's talking about his big Ripley muscles just made me so thirsty. Anyway, so yes, we have Morphed Shredder, Green Ranger Shredder. I've been waiting for this one forever. I actually ordered two. One of them still hasn't came up on the other pre-order. I don't know if I'm going to keep the second one or give it to a friend or something. I don't know, but I just wanted to make sure I got one. And before we get into the main event, him standing so nicely, he's just like, "I'm not going to fall. I am Shredder." We're going to take a look at the box. A really nice Tom Whalen artwork on the back. I wish I could meet Tom Whalen and thank him so much, because he makes some really good art. And the art's replicated on this side. I also noticed that it says like Tommy and Kimberly into the side part. I never really looked at it, but it has like the weapons, the name, like you can see the power sword here, the coins. And here's art on the back, almost similar to how I had it, but a little different. As a nice 3D render. Looks real nice, looks real nice. And then we're going to move this out of the way. I'll put it right. Okay, that's fine. And then we'll get into the main event himself. Green Ranger Shredder, Morphed Shredder. Oh, pardon me. I think Green Ranger Shredder just sounds better, but he is just Morphed Shredder like the turtle. It's not Red Ranger Raph, Blue Ranger Leo. It's Morphed Leo, Morphed Raph, etc., etc. Because, yeah, they're morphed. Even though they are each respective color, what have you, it's just they call it morph, which, whatever. So, getting into Morph Shredder, just in how we have the detail, the sculpted detail, like on his armor and stuff's real nice. I like how on he has a special dragon shield, by the way, kind of with this, like, this is, I don't know what to say, that, like, molded shapes in there. And then, like, kind of like the lightning bolt-esque design on his shield compared to others. It's really, and if you really wanted to get that off and use it on someone else, you could. I think you just probably heat it up a little bit. I'm not going to, because he looks the best with it, of course. His armed wraps, I like how even on his like blades and what here, you kind of see there's a little bit of like battle damage here or there, like, especially on the chest here. You can see the scratches and stuff, because he's Shredder. He be battling, so he has a little bit of damage, but obviously no real cuts because he's Shredder. You're not beating him. And then his articulation, I'll get him back to a more like basic pose. He's got a nice ankle up and down. These ones are all a little stiff, so I'd be careful at first. I'm still kind of, I don't want to bust nothing. Nice knee movement, hip swivel. Nice ab crunch. He can go back pretty decently. His head's a little hindered by his helmet. Like, he can still look left and right, looking down like he looks down on everybody's kind of tough, but he is a bigger figure. I'll show you here against Raphael. He does stand quite a bit bigger than everyone else, which is kind of the point, because Shredder's not a small guy, so he kind of towers over everyone. That's kind of how he gets that intimidation factor, because he's a big guy. Like I said, ankle swivel, we can really pivot it a lot there, which is pretty nice. Stand up forward a bit. There we go. The cape, as you can see here, it's a cloth. There's no like pipes or anything or like bars to keep it in place. It just kind of flows how it is. But given how his arms move and stuff, you can like, that's kind of why I kind of had his arm sweeping up the way I do have, or it's kind of like off like that, which is kind of showing like him that he's pushing the cape out of his way as he moves. So it can really just pose on its own, especially if it's just using the arms with it. It just flows really nicely without having to. I like the kind of damage they have in it with like the already pre-serrations kind of shredded at the bottom, because, you know, haha, Shredder. It just kind of works, especially for him. The hands are really nice, and you can see the effect parts he comes with. He comes with 2 of these blade attachments. They just slip on to either one, either of his hands, and he comes with 2 hands for both. He's got the open palm hands, and then he gets 2 fist hands. Easy peasy. I think mine are kind of, this one's kind of bent here, but you can easily fix it. I'd probably stick it in the plastic piece just to kind of get to go back to where it needs to, but that's something that's like nothing too major. And I'll probably keep him with the fist hands, and since I assume he's right-handed, it'd make more sense to have this one. And I've already seen some people, I think it was Toku Topics, I think, did a nice display with these guys where he has Shredder holding Raphael by his neck. So you can if you have the proper stands and everything, you can really make him do that. His knee pads are slightly different gold than to his other main parts, like his gauntlets, his are these greaves? I don't think so. I think technically the greaves would be on the arms. I don't know. Armor experts in the comments, please let me know. But I like this effect part. It's simple. It works. It's nothing crazy, but it does what it needs to do. There isn't really anything crazy you could really give Shredder. So I'm completely okay with this really being it. Especially since he's a bigger figure. It's a mold they're probably not going to use again, unless they make another Shredder or someone that kind of fits the dimensions of Shredder. I'm okay with the slight higher price or whatever, because we get a nice figure that, even though he's kind of a one-off thing, fits really nice. His belt is rubber and maneuverable, so you can kind of move it around. The Morpher itself on there looks pretty nice. Yes, it's silver, when technically the Green Rangers is supposed to be gold. Is a kind of an oversight that people didn't like. I don't know if in the comics it was actually made gold as well. I don't remember. I'd have to look at it again. But that's no big deal for me. It is a little annoying. Like, it should be gold and it should match, the rest of his gold. But also I see that it's not a perfect morph, remember, because he doesn't have arms or whatever. And Shredder's mostly like purple and silver. So maybe it's silver because he wanted it that way. Because, I mean, look at the helmet sculpt, which is absolutely badass if it will focus. Absolutely badass. Again, having the battle damage on like the mouth guard there. So it's obviously the Shredder helmet, but with the Green Ranger peeking through. I like how the eyes fit up here, the diamond and everything. It almost is kind of reminiscent of the Fighting Spirit silver stripe Green Ranger helmet that I know a lot of people are mixed on. I don't mind it as much. It's cool. I like the little updates to it. But it looks really, really nice. Again, you can really move him pretty well. I'll just stand him up for this next part here. We're just going to... So you were standing for me really well earlier, bud. Come on. There we go. Gotta get those feet all tucked in forward. Or maybe not that far. And lean forward, but stand at attention. Let's back a bit here. Just lay down for a second, bud. You're tired. So comparing him next to Red Ranger Morph Raphael, he does stand about a head taller. I know I kind of have Raphael in a slightly bent pose, but even if you kind of stand him up a bit, he's still about like a head or half a head shorter, which looks really nice, especially when they're paired together like this. It really adds to that, because the turtles are never as big as Shredder, especially when he goes like Super Shredder and all that. So having them be smaller works, especially I don't have any like other Lightning Collection figures on hand to show outside of these. I could have grabbed Amber Pink or April or Neil Pink Ranger, but whatever. So, but Shredder stands taller and for good reason. It really makes him imposing, and just having them square off. Let's see if I can kind of get him back in that original pose I had him here, where he's just kind of coming in, just I'm Shredder, and you're gonna die, because that's what he does. I'm gonna stand up again. Can I do it? Will it not do it because now I want him to? Kind of how these toys work. I gotta, yeah. And also, I plan to get some more stands on this, so you can kind of have them where he's here. There's an epic clash. Shredder going, oh, he's going for it. Oh, the block. Oh, choke slam. He's stomping a mud hole in him. Anyway, sorry, before I start scraping up my toys here. And then another comparison, just for the sake of having it here, we have the Easy 8, the easiest one to grab off my shelf. The Gundam Universe line. Again, it stands a bit tall, even taller than them, which is nice. I think they all range about the 6-inch range. I think he's technically like 7, not necessarily 9 inches, but he's definitely, I think, more closer to 7, something like that. Like maybe like a high 6.5, 7, just so he really gets that head on other figures similar to him. And overall, I think like for not having a lot, I think he does a lot. Just the presence alone, and like if you wanted to army build the foot soldiers, I think you could easily do that. Because I know a lot of people have been selling just the Tommies by themselves. Because I mean, a lot of people don't even care; they just wanted the turtles. And hell, you can even use like other past foot soldiers for that. I think he would just be great on a good villain, like especially if you like turtles. I think these ones, albeit different, are a good addition, just because turtles have come in all different sorts of shapes and sizes, colors, this and that. So why not add the classic MMPR colors to him too? And he could easily just have him like sitting off throne. You could see like one of Draken's thrones that they've released, or you can get 3D printed from anywhere and have him just sitting as the big boss, just with an army of miscellaneous villains. Maybe he took down Rita and Zed, and he's in their spot. You can maybe pose him like Zed's staff and his kind of open hand here, and have him just controlling the Putty Patrol as well as the Foot Clan, as well as Bebop and Rocksteady, and then like Goldar and like Piranha's Head, Eye Guy, all the figures, King Sphinx. I think those are all of the Pumpkin Rapper. He's another one of the figures that they released, so you can have him in there just with the, if you have the whole collection, you can have the true big bad just posed up with everybody. But I definitely think if you like Power Rangers, if you like Ninja Turtles, or both, definitely get him. I don't see like downside. He is like what, 32 some bucks. He is kind of pricey for a figure, but I mean, for the imposingness alone of just how he is, he just the energy he just radiates of just wanting to fall over. No, but just as the big boss, the classic boss, one of the classic bosses, man, just he's got the felt, or the cape, the cloth cape. I really like that. They could have gone with the molded plastic like they did with the Draken Evo 3, but I think for Shredder, this is a really good one. You can have him with the turtle beaten on the ground in front of him, because of course I'd put his foot on the turtle, but I don't want to risk that. I don't want to hurt the paint or anything. But he's got a nice like lower leg swivel. I forget what that's called. Femur swiver, swiffer. You know what I mean. But like he just power. Even just having, he just emits power. He just looks good. Even if you put him in a pose and then never touch him again, he just has that presence, just menacing, powerful. I love it. He just looks good. And what more do you want from a figure? Because I know a lot of people don't actually play with these a lot. I know some people do their like, I follow a lot of people on Instagram that do figure posting, and hopefully one day I can start doing some of that too, because I got plenty, and I like just playing with them. Give me an excuse to play with them. But I think if you like Shredder, if you like Ninja Turtles, if you like Power Rangers, if you like all of them, he is a figure to get, no doubt about it. He's not perfect. Like, he's not a lot of accessories, only a couple hands. The morpher is silver when it should be gold, blah, 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 blah. only really minor nitpicks. I think overall he looks good. The battle damage on his helmet and chest plate are good. His presence, his stance, the cape was done really well. The paint looks nice. I know the knees are, but basically all Lightning Collection figures have a slightly different colored knee. Oh well, I can get over it. I know that bothers a lot of people, especially it's supposed to be a collector grade item. You're paying a pretty, not crazy price, but you are paying like 30 some bucks for this particular guy, probably like closer to 35, or even 40 in some cases, unless you got ripped off by some scalpers. I get it, but it's the little thing. And for a figure that I didn't even think we were ever going to get, honestly, like when I heard this, I was like, oh man, those would be cool figures. But I never thought we would get them, and here we are. We got the whole wave like that. Like immediately, like, hey, you wanted it? Here you go. I can't be mad at that, but I can't recommend them enough. I love Green Ranger. I love Shredder, and this is the perfect blend of those two characters in a menacing, badass final boss ass villain. Screw Super Shredder. We got Morph Shredder. I'll take that over Super Shredder any day. And if you like what you see, leave a like down below and subscribe for more content like this. Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh!, a figure review sprinkled in between. And I have been the one, Rowland Ryko, and we'll get those turtles next time.